Welcome back, class. I see everyone learned from last time and has done their homework. That's good. So, let's get into today's lesson, shall we? Today we are going to be discussing my demo video and how to actually make it work, because it technically doesn't as it should. So, before we get into all the craziness behind it, let's just run it real quick. So authorization, we type, actually here, just for the sake of nonsense, I'll just type random stuff in here. It's going to be lol, even though that's not even remotely proper. We're going to type activate lols, because that's not the proper, even though it's going to work anyway. Okay, so now we see how it works, how it's supposed to look here. Now we figure this out here and figure out how to actually make it not work, because it's impossible to fail the authorization and confirmations in this. So let's just read through this and see if we can make sense of it. So we have, there's a lot of stuff here that is going to be beyond you at the moment, but we'll return to it and understand the stuff that's beyond you later. So we'll be returning to this file once again. But for now, we're going to focus on our authorization and activation codes and the activate/abort. That's what today's video is going to focus on. The rest of this we'll get to later, like down here, the typing slowly, bit by bit thing. That is well beyond you right now. Some of you guys may understand it, but based on the lessons that I've given, you won't understand how that works just yet, and that's fine. That's a little bit of teasing you that, hey, this thing is a thing that's cool, you'll understand how to do it eventually. So basically today we're going to do a practical application of the stuff you've been learning the last couple episodes with strings and all that. So let's take a look, see here what we have. This is going to be beyond you right now. Just do. Okay, constructor, yep, that's going to be beyond you still. These are all methods, by the way. This little part here, this is a method. This is a method named printLine, and it requires a string. That's just another method called print over there, so don't worry about those just yet. This is a complicated one. This one is definitely beyond you, but I'm going to explain the basics of how it functions, just to like make it so you can at least read it and understand what it's trying to do, even though you won't understand how it's doing it. So this is a method called print with delays. It's going to take in multiple inputs. It needs a string, it needs a thing called time unit, and it needs a long, which is what we call the delay. It's form a number. It's complicated stuff that we don't have to get into right now. So basically, you call this, you got to give it these three things and it'll be happy. But again, it's really complicated and you don't need to understand it. You won't understand it right now. So we're going to get into the main here. This is where the meat and bones is. This is just me having a little bit of fun. This is an 100-dimensional array. Completely impractical, completely a pain in the ass. Don't do this. It's just being silly. So you know how, okay, this is a scanner. Usually we call it keyboard. I just thought it would be cute to call it Monty. Why? I don't know. So we have a string, which is the authentication, which is, where the hell? Yeah, so we have authentication, we have the authentication code. So authorization, okay, yeah. So that's to this one. This code is to this. And string activate is down here, activator abort. So, based on that, we need to figure out what's in these strings. And I'm just going to show you how this works, and then explain why I do it. Okay. Right here, auth equals scanner dot next line, which is whatever's typed after it's requesting authorization. So let's give us some lines here to work with. We're going to do what I showed before, if statements. If auth dot equals open here. And what we're going to, so this is now, it's checking if the string auth equals what's inside this string we just typed here. And let's just type all lowercase, pancake, ninja, hang on, P-A-N-C-A-K-E, N-I-N-J-A-27. Okay. Now, this won't work. This is, so this right here is different than this. We could also, it did the weird stupid autofill thing where it's .content equals. We just went .equals right now. There is a .equals ignore case, which then, if for some stupid reason you capitalize the K in here, in the middle of this, that would be fine. But we'll just, for now, we're going to keep it all lowercase. Activation code, okay. So then, okay. Now we have what? We have an if statement. So what do we want to do if the authorization equals that? Well, frankly, we want to do nothing because automatically it's going to continue on. So we don't have to do anything in here at all. And then we can type else. And our else statement here is just going to be system.out.print. Let's see. Error closing, or just, let's just go error wrong input. Nah, error. Screw it. Wrong input. Closing program now. And then we're going to do a system.exit. We're going to do 1. We're going to put a comment here. Wrong. Let's scroll back up to where we're working here. Wrong authorization. Okay. Wrong. Yeah, wrong auth works. So system.exit, what this does is it's going to force close the program. Like here, I'll show you. And nothing after here will run then. Authorization, pancake, ninja27, authorization code. Cool. So we're going to stop this. We're going to terminate it. We're going to run it again. Now, since this is it's running .equals, not equals ignore case, what if we go capital, pancake, ninja27. Error, wrong input, closing program now. And it's not doing anything else after. Good. It's working as we want it to. So now, we want to do the same sort of thing, but for the passcode. So we're going to go if code dot equals, and here, I'm going to show you something else we can actually do here. It's doing that thing again. I hate when it does this. Hang on. Just plain old dot equals. I'm just going to put this in right here for now. So I'm going to show you something else we can do. Instead of doing what we did up here, where we just have it hard-coded here, we can make... Ooh, okay, we don't want to do that. We can go string correct code equals Vtuber. So now this is the code that the user is giving us right here, and this is the code that will actually function. So now we go back down to line 70-ish here. What we can do is correct code. So now, instead of up here, where if we wanted to change my username, we would have to go scroll down through our over 100 lines of code to find exactly this line here to change it. And say if we needed, say if this was like an actual complicated program and you could change your authorization code. Well, we would need to figure out how to change our authorization code and not have say here. Because this is only one user, we can't really go back and change this very easily. But if we had the ability to go and change passwords, we would want a single place. Because you know what? It's going to ask you for your current code to change your code to log into your account. That's how it always works. It's like, yo, let's make sure you're actually you and someone didn't just sit down at your computer. So we would have to plug in the correct passcode multiple times. We'd have multiple different lines where that's a thing. And it would be a royal pain to, whenever you change your passcode, having to change this on 4 or 5 different areas in our code. So we just change it up here. Changing it up here when you change your password will then automatically update it everywhere else in the program. We don't have to worry about it. We typed it once. We're good. So doing stuff like this, not doing what I just did, having a dedicated correct passcode sort of thing, very, very nice, very good programming, save you a lot of time. I recommend it. Okay. If it's correct code, then, well, just continue. We write here, code will continue to run, then else we'll go system.exit 2. And the reason that this one is a 2 and not a 1 is because if we're calling this from somewhere else, we'll get informed which exit code it is. And then if we can refer to the master list of exit code 2 means that you plugged in the wrong password. I guess passcode, since we're calling it a code and a thing, and that's not a real word, but who cares? I don't care. Now, you know what? Good practice, iterative code design. Go and test. As you're going through, you change one thing, make sure it really works. No point changing 100 things, because you know what? If this doesn't work properly, we know exactly what the problem is. The problem is with our passcode. But if we're having errors, and we did all of the things we need to do, it could be in a lot of places. Boom. Okay. Yep. Seems to be working good. Now right here, this is going to be fun, because technically it's either activate or abort, but there are 3 possible things that someone could put in. Be activate, abort, or someone could just smash the keyboard like this. So we have to be on the lookout for all 3 of those things. And we're going to stop the program running here with that red box. So now we're going to come in here. Activation. Okay, activate or abort. So we're going to go if activate dot equals. Okay, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this nonsense. Dot equals. Well, it didn't do it that time. Okay. Hang on a second. Now I'm curious at this nonsense. We're gonna get to the bottom of this right here, right now, live. Activate dot equ dot equals. Interesting. Okay. Very, very fascinating, I guess. Who knows? It's got something to do with that drop-down menu there. That, like, you can click things. If you know what you're doing, click things. Don't randomly click things, because you'll start adding a whole bunch of random code you don't understand. Okay. If a dot equals activate. Actually, you know what? There's multiple ways we could go about this. I say we go about first checking for all the things we don't want. Because, like, if it's abort, we kill it. Then if it's activate, we're good, but if it's everything else, we kill it. So, you know what? First things first, if it's abort, we don't need to worry about any complicated checks. So then we just stop. So let's go with abort. We're going to be case sensitive on this, just because we want it to be. Yep, okay. If it's that, I like to keep my things vertically aligned because I'm weird. Okay, if it's abort, we're going to go system dot exit 3. And it's going to be abort called. But you know what? Let's just tell them that we're aborting. So let's do system. Okay, that's about right. Yeah. Dot out dot print ln, because I'm feeling like putting a new line on for some reason. Okay. Aborting program and shutting down. We outside the thing? Yes, we are. Okay, good. We're called now. Else, if this is something I haven't told you guys about, I don't believe, is we can do something called an Elseif, which basically chains these if statements. If it's this, do this. If it's not that, and if it is this other thing, then we do that. So right here, if it's, well, I know what we do here. There's a simple way to do this and a complicated way to do this. I'm going to introduce some of our operators. Not like secret agent operators, but like greater than, less than, equals to, those things. I had briefly mentioned them before, but we'll get into a whole video on all of them and how they function. I'm going to introduce a special one today that really is going to save your butts. So, what we're trying to figure out here is, obviously, if it's abort, we're done. And if it's not activate, because right now, let's run through the logic here. If it's abort, we run these here. If it's not abort, then we're going to run our else if. So we don't have to worry about checking if it's not abort, because we already know it's not if we get to here. So all we need to know is if it's not activate. Because if it's not abort and it's not activate, it's anything else, and that's not what we're looking for, so we want to kill the program. So, how do we do that? It sounds complicated, because obviously if statements are looking for something that's true. But it's actually rather simple. If activate dot equ dot equals, and you know what? Since I know what I'm doing here, I'm going to go dot equals. Just click on it so it screws off and doesn't bother me. So now we have dot equals, and we have our quotation marks here. What am I going to do? I'm going to put an exclamation mark here, because exclamation mark is the operator for not. So bear with me for one moment. I'm going to type activate here. Now, let's see how that would read here. Am I being stupid? Yeah, let's just give it its full thing here. What am I doing stupid here? You know what? Here. Just to make sure of this stupidity, because obviously I'm doing something stupid, what we're going to do, we're going to less complicate this. Oh, wait, hang on. I remember. Okay. If it's not activate dot equals. Okay. Not dot equals not activate. This is what we're doing. That's a common mistake that everyone makes at some point or another. So, again, I don't edit out my mistakes because I want people to see it's okay to make mistakes in programming. You just gotta catch them. And that's sort of the fun of programming. The fun is making the mistakes, catching them, solving them, learning how to fix it. And also getting on yourself for making the same dumb mistake over and over. It's okay, everyone makes mistakes. Even me, because I'm programmed to make mistakes. AI logic, I guess. Anyway, so now, this reads up here, if the user plugs in, so specifically if scanner.equals, if activate here, equals abort, if the user has plugged in abort, then we're going to say back aborting program and shutting down, and we're going to exit the program. So if it's not abort and it is, so else if not activate dot equals activate. So basically, if whatever they've typed in is not activate, if it's literally anything else, then this comes out to true, and whatever is in between these two will run. So, what do we want then? Well, we want to kill it because that's not activate and that's not how we start it. So we go, note here. Again, when you have things memorized how to do this, and you just can do this off the top of your head, you can copy paste. If you're not completely solid on the formatting of system.exit and system.out.print and print line, this one here, honestly, you probably have memorized by now if you've been watching through all my videos. So at that point, you can go ahead and copy paste. Everyone does it at some point. And actually, I am going to get into a way to avoid needing to do copy pasting here in the next video. There's no homework for this video, but I'm also not done. I'm just letting you know. No homework today, because I'm feeling generous. But what I am going to do next time is I'm going to show you how methods work. That way, you can not have to type out this annoying mess twice or copy paste it. And you know what here I'm going to do? I'm going to make this 4, just for the sake of it. Actually, nah, you know what? We'll keep it 3 for now, because these are both the same thing. I don't really care. I don't care if you flubbed your typing of something, or if you just didn't type activate. I'm aborting it regardless. So, yes, this right here should work. But should work and does work are 2 very separate things. So let's run it one more time and see if we did everything correctly. We're going to run it to make it work, and we're going to run it to make it fail there. And we're going to make it fail in both ways, because you want to test all your fail methods just to make sure everything is working right. Pancake Ninja 27, activation code Vtuber, Confirming credentials. Yep. Let's see. First things first. Let's look up here in our code. So where we are right now, confirming AI activation. We're at this line. We're at line 96. Well, to be precisely, it is at right here. It's at like 98 because it's waiting for my typing. So let's type abort. Let's check the start of our loop here. Abort. Aborting program and shutting down. Good, as it should. Run it one more time. Pancake. Nope. PNCAKENINJA27. Vtuber. Confirming credentials. Yep. Go all the way through. This time, let's see. Let's type dogs. Wow, the program doesn't like dogs. No. Because I'm a cat girl, it doesn't like dogs. Anyway, good. It should shut down there. Now we just have one final test to run. Authorization. Pancake Ninja 27. Vtuber. Now, activate. And it works. And there's the fancy delayed typing. I love that stuff. So cool. Alrighty, well, that's how this works. So, in the next episode, I will be going in depth on methods and stuff you can do with methods to save yourself some time in your programming. So you'll understand this stuff here, the stuff that you have to give to your methods for them to work. So I'm going to be covering that, and yeah, I'll do with that. Yeah, we'll do that next time. I was thinking maybe I should go into our operators. Nah. I'll save operators for the video after this one, or something else if I decide that I really want to cover that. Anyway, at this point, I'm rambling. Thank you all so very much for watching. Class dismissed. Yeah.